A historic moment in the battle to protect our planet. Nations agreed to safeguard 30% of land and sea by 2030 at the COP15 summit.
Some Ukrainian and Russian troops are reportedly fighting within sight of each other in Bakhmut, while Russian President Vladimir Putin is allegedly heading to Belarus.
Britain's High Court rules that a plan to send asylum seekers on a one-way trip to Rwanda is legal.
Football fans in Argentina are ecstatic after winning the World Cup in Qatar, with Lionel Messi adding his name to the greats.
A historic deal has been reached at the COP15 Biodiversity Conference in Montreal. The most significant part of the agreement is a commitment to protect 30% of land and water by 2030. Currently, 17% of terrestrial and 10% of marine areas are protected.
This is a historical moment. Today we are approaching the end of a long journey, which involved numerous meetings in different parts of the world. During this journey, we even pushed forward our work at the height of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Now we have finally reached our destination.
The draft calls for the raising of around 200 billion euros by 2030 for biodiversity from a range of sources. Countries will also continue to phase out or reform environmentally damaging subsidies, such as those used to reduce the price of petrol. This could also provide another 500 billion euros for nature.
Ukrainian troops stock up on supplies and transport them to the battlefront using whatever vehicles they can. While the beginning of winter has seen fighting inside Ukraine slow down, in some parts of the city of Bakhmut in Donetsk, Ukrainian and Russian troops fight within sight of each other, and the city has been all but emptied of its 70,000 inhabitants. It is clear to us that Vladimir Putin needs Bakhmut as a New Year's gift. In this New Year's speech, he wants to announce a great victory. Russian propaganda is doing everything to exaggerate the military importance of Bakhmut, which in reality is small. In a separate development, Russian President Vladimir Putin will reportedly visit Belarus today in a mission to urge his close ally to join in Russia's war effort. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly address that the protection of the border with both Russia and Belarus is a constant priority, and that preparations are being made for all possible defense scenarios. People living in Kyiv are flocking to aid centers known as points of invincibility. They are to be found in many areas of the city during the hours when there are power cuts in their homes, caused by ongoing Russian shelling.
During the last 2 years, Italians had to live with the pandemic the same as everyone else during the Christmas festivities. But this was supposed to be the year of rebirth, not only psychologically, but economically too. However, the war in Ukraine and a heavy energy crisis have dealt a heavy blow to Christmas 2022. The increase in electricity bills have become unbearable for many families and business owners. Some Italian mayors have decided to give up street decorations and lighting in order to redistribute any unspent money to those who are not able to pay their energy bills. The first thing I got scared of was the electricity bill of our municipality increasing by 6 times. That's the reason why I didn't take initiatives that could come at the expense of the whole town, because clearly the costs of the municipality reflect on the cost for citizens in terms of services and taxes. Pomigliano d'Arco is a town of 40,000 inhabitants, and it's the centre of one of the most important industrial hubs in southern Italy. We're in the centre of Pomigliano, just a few days away from Christmas, and very few decorations are to be seen around. The streets may look a bit sad, but many families living in this centre in the province of Naples will be able to spend a peaceful Christmas without the hassle of electricity bills. The amount of money we allocated was 120,000. Right now we don't know how many families have joined this initiative yet, but definitely there will be many. We predict each family will get an amount between 300 and 400 euros. This is very important in this historical moment. At this time of year, shopping areas are usually decorated with a whole series of overarching lighting, but they're empty. Only shops' decorations convey some Christmas spirit. Tenaciously, a lonely Father Christmas climbs the ladder as a good wish for the next year.
Britain's High Court has ruled that a government plan to send asylum seekers on a one-way trip to Rwanda is legal. In April, the UK struck a deal with the African nation, allowing for some asylum seekers' applications to be processed in Rwanda, with applicants residing there. Even if successful, those sent there would continue to have the right to reside in Rwanda, but not the UK. The policy has been criticised due to the poor nature of human rights in Rwanda when compared to Britain, and whether the policy would actually be cost-effective. Under the plans, asylum seekers were to be sent to this hostel in the Rwandan capital. So far, no one has been deported as part of the policy. The UK was forced to cancel the first deportation flight at the last minute in June after the European Court of Human Rights ruled that the plan carried a real risk of irreversible harm. This is despite Britain paying Rwanda over €140 million as part of the deal. While the court has ruled in the government's favour, it added that it must consider the circumstances of each case before deporting anyone, thus setting the controversial policy up for further legal battles.
In the face of a backlash from Twitter users, Elon Musk used the platform to run a poll asking if he should quit. 57.5% of the 17.5 million people who responded said yes, he should go. Elon Musk's promised to abide by the result, but is reportedly flying back from the World Cup, leaving the future of the platform he bought for $44 billion quite literally up in the air. 2 hours later he tweeted, "Those who want power are the ones who least deserve it."
After the previous pandemic hit Christmases, Santa is back in business in Lapland. The northern Finnish region, fabled as the home of Father Christmas, is preparing for bumper season as tourists flock back. More than 63,000 arrivals are expected in Lapland capital, Rovaniemi.
And this season is definitely going to break records. Already in December, but further on we go for winter, January, February, March. It's going to be a strong full season for Lapland.
The tourism industry has been banking on a spectacular rebound, with new flights to the region and local resorts investing in new attractions.
We get 60 dogs more, and we have now 10 people on the work. Last season only 6, now 10, and we get 2 more. And we have now dogs, running dogs, we have here now 114.
In the darkest days of the pandemic, tourism in Lapland dropped by up to 90%. This year, Christmas spirit is alive and thriving.
After more than 2 hours through all the emotions, happiness resounded in the hearts of the Argentine fans. In Pinamar, on the coastline south of Buenos Aires, as well as across the whole country, Albiceleste fans gathered to celebrate a long-awaited third world title. You can't imagine how stressed we were. We were all waiting for this one. This is the one that was missing. In 1986, I didn't get to see our World Cup victory because I was small and working. I was very poor. I lived in the countryside. I was 10 years old and could not experience it. But today, I can show my children how happy I am and how my heart is bursting out of my chest. It's a reflection of the Argentine people, power, strength, values, courage, and giving everything. Messi is my idol. I'm the same age as him. I've lived everything with Messi. I didn't dare to expect him to be consecrated. It brings tears to my eyes. The comparison with Maradona is unavoidable, but it's true that Messi, with his composure, the heart he puts into it, his immense desire to win, we're also able to enjoy all of that with him. Argentina, one of the world's greatest footballing countries, has been waiting 36 years for this moment. The epilogue is worthy of a film. Lionel Messi, in his probable last selection, offered a third title to the Albiceleste and engraved his name next to Diego Maradona's in the Olympus of football. and in the hearts of millions of Argentines.
Euronews, Pinamar.